What's up, guys? Coach Tony back here with MoveMed. I'm checking in with you between jobs today so that we can talk about how to identify our stress being too much and then how that's actually going to affect us. So Z-Health does an excellent job of explaining where we accrue all of our threat signals. This comes from our past injuries, this comes from our environment, this comes from our proprioception, our visual system, our vestibular system. All of these things contribute to our overall perception of where we are in the world and whether we're safe. If we're safe, we have more output. If we're not safe, we have less output. Very simple. Now, to understand how this is going to affect us, and using the car as an analogy for this, our central nervous system perceives the outside world and then it spits us a map. Very much like a GPS. So if you're renting a car and you're in a city that you don't know, you get a GPS in the car and you might think, okay, I don't need to drive 10 kilometers an hour. I can drive maybe the speed limit because the GPS is going to tell me what's coming up. I'll know that there's construction or that there's police or that I need to make a left-hand turn 2 blocks from now. If you have that information ahead of time, you feel familiar. If you feel familiar, you can drive comfortably. You can have a conversation with your spouse. You can listen to some music. Conversely, if you have no GPS and you're in a town that has no numbered streets, everything is named, you have to constantly stare at all the signs, you don't know where the turns are coming up. What happens? How do we react as humans when that happens? If we have too much demand on our attention, we can't talk right now with our spouse. We can't have the kids yelling in the back seat. We have to turn the music down and we have to drive slower. When we have trouble concentrating, we simply have to lower the amount of stimulus to a level that we can operate in. So when we understand this, we can apply this everywhere that we see this, whether it's in training or everyday life. You need to recognize the in and up and understand that in and up is coming from your stress bucket being too full. Doesn't always present physically, but we need to understand that anytime that we feel like things are getting too much and I have to slow down somewhere, I either can't handle a conversation or I can't handle extra noise or I'm feeling agitated or I'm starting to sweat a little bit. These are signs of overstimulation and we got to dial it back down. The best ways to dial back down an activity: inactivity, lower load, lower reps, and lower speed. We'll talk about this more in another video, but for today's purposes, I want you just to remember that when my signals are overwhelming, I'm going to start to show signs of overstimulation and my performance will go down. In my training, I can fix this with 3 different ways. I can lower the load, I can lower the reps, or I can lower the speed. See you on the next video.